Hello everyone, it's been a really long time since I've done a review, but I really feel like doing more. So let's start with Nicktoons Racing. But before we begin, let's show off a realistic, dramatic reconstruction of Tommy Pickles, a baby, driving a car. Before I played the game, I thought it'd be interesting to see what kind of ratings the game was given back in 2001 when this was released. I knew absolutely nothing about the game, and since it was created by Infogrames, the same company that made Bugs and Taz Time Busters, I assumed it'd be pretty good. Oh god. 2001 was very late into the PS1's lifetime, and oh my god! How could a game like this receive a 1 out of 10? Well, let's find out together. The game starts out with a pleasant cutscene of a mystery person who has set up a racing tournament for some reason. This mystery driver has called on many of Nicktoons' favourite characters to compete for the Krusty Krab's Cup. This cutscene does have one small bit of sublime deception though. You instantly see Ren and Stimpy and assume you can play as them. Wrong. Only Stimpy. Not Ren. Why? Who thought that was a brilliant idea? Anyway, so far nothing's really wrong with the game. It was a nice cutscene. Let's go to the title screen. Oh Jesus. What the fuck was that? That is not a pleasant noise to hear when you enter a game. That is the sound of your house being demolished, or dropping a fridge on my foot. Why? How did this make it into the game? Oh, I'm already seeing it. This is why. This is the 1 out of 10. Oh my fucking god. What is that? I do not want a painfully obnoxious bang noise every quarter of a second. So many unpleasant noises that just won't shut up. This is honestly just about the most painful menu I've ever witnessed. And I've played titles from Phoenix Games, so I know what I'm talking about. The character models don't actually look too bad. I mean, Tommy looks high, but yeah, they're not too bad. I'm gonna play as Stimpy, I think. I'd prefer to play as Ren, so I could scream abuse at everyone, but this'll do. Right. Let's get to the gameplay. When I looked up Nicktoons Racing and saw it received a 1 out of 10, I expected the worst. But upon entering the gameplay portion of the game, I was actually pleasantly surprised. The visuals were nice, the gameplay seemed smooth, and it seems to do justice to the source material. However, from then on, the bad times just keep flowing. Much like chronic diarrhea. You see, the problem with this game is that the carts are fine to control in a wide open space such as the first track, but this is to lure you into a false sense of security. Never before have I felt so tricked by a game. The rest of the tracks are a maze of twisty torture that is impossible to maneuver through unless you fully master the controls, which, believe me, will not happen soon enough. Furthermore, whilst the tracks may give you guidance on where to go, it won't help you. As I said, most tracks are like mazes. They're far too complex for their own good. They just place so many obstacles and various pathways, each of which feel like a chore to take. But some of them even loop so close to each other that you could go back down the other option thinking that's the way to go instead of progressing when you're just going backwards. Infogrames tried to create a fun, gimmicky kart racing game. It's just that the fun left at the grid. Actually, that's a lie. These fucking noises exist. Why is Tommy being sick an audio clip within this game? More specifically, within all of the menus? What the fuck is this? The steering of this game is actually quite responsive and slides a little as you turn. Almost like Mario Kart. The drifting allows you to do a little hop to jump over gaps and items. Almost like Crash Team Racing. But much worse. You see, the hop in Crash Team Racing is flawless. It's light and it's slow. You can feel the movements of the kart within your fingertips, and you can edge the kart wherever you want it to go. This kart, however, will end up in a ditch. The hop isn't high, but it lasts longer, and it just takes too long to get into the drift formation, which will ultimately lead to you failing to turn properly. More so than you were doing before at least. You have to learn exactly what kind of technique to use on each corner if you want to edge your way around it. Also, just a small side note, if you come in any position apart from first, this jingle will play. This is without a doubt the most soul-crushing jingle I've ever heard. Second place is a massive accomplishment, especially in this game. Do not fucking punish me for it! The style of the tracks resemble many famous places from within the cartoon lore and has a very cartoony style about it too. Almost like Toy Story Racer! This game is actually pretty much a primitive Toy Story Racer. It fails on every level, and that's a shame because Toy Story Racer is a great game which I hadn't seen imitated before. Just a pity we had to get a shit imitation. This game does have a few unique features though, and one of them is the turbo feature. Throughout all of the tracks you see these small burst tokens which fill up a bar at the top, and that is your turbo meter. You use R1 to use this whenever you collect them. It's actually quite a neat idea. It's a nice way of going a lot faster without power-ups that you might not get. And there are boost pads all around as well. And even better than that, the controls actually remain stable as you use it. It's not too fast but it's uncontrollable and it feels fun. But much like everything else in this game, it does have a problem. You see, they don't give you as many of these orbs as you'd like on some tracks, and if you use them in areas with tight turns, then you are going to suffer because it's hard enough to navigate it without going twice as fast. They mainly give you the orbs within these areas. Now, you might be thinking, well that's not such a bad thing. You can just wait until a wide open space is available to use it. And that's where you'd be wrong. The problem with the turbo is that it runs out gradually, so if you don't use it, you lose it. Which I can kind of understand implementing as it encourages you to use it because you can get more to go faster, but when it's essentially suicide, that's just not a good idea. Also, the drifting button is R2, so you won't be drifting whilst using a turbo without breaking your fingers. I have never played a game where I have to hit the two back buttons on the same side at the same time, and I just couldn't get used to it. I guess I should talk about the weapons. Oh god, the weapons. Once you get hit by a weapon, you become the most unresponsive thing since a square-shaped wheel on a hill. Or this guy. Here are all the weapons. The dirty bubble. You gotta pee on it to get rid of that sting. The lime in the coconut. Bombs in a box. Ultimate sweaty bull rash. You piece of trash. Warning, shit happens. Wasted time. The best item ever. Wait, what just happened? And finally, Dick Mountain. Apparently this is a tree friend from the Angry Beavers, but whenever I saw it I thought it was just a tiny mountain with a face since it goes by so fast, so I named it Dick Mountain. Incidentally, Dick Mountain is a real place. Whiskey Dick Mountain is located 15 miles, 24 kilometers east of Ellensburg in Washington state. It's the highest point on Windy Ridge and it has 149 wind turbines. The more you know. Very ecological. That's one green dick. You should probably see a doctor about that. Anyway, getting back to the weapons. You will lose every race because you'll get pile drive by weapon after weapon into last place. And they don't even have balancing. You'll be last and then Dick Mountain will hit you because first place got it. As you know, that's completely fair. You'll also get weapons which are pretty much useless when you're last. I'm in last! I don't need that! I want something that can save me, like, oh, I don't know, the time machine, or Dick Mountain, not the sweaty ball talcum powder. With that rant over, I will give credit where credit is due. There are two genuinely clever things about this game. The first is relay mode. It's essentially a relay race. You pick 3 races, pick a track, and then at the end of each lap you switch races. At the end of that lap, if you miss the next team member, it's a slow start. However, if you hit them, you switch over and they get a turbo boost. It's quite an original idea for a kart racer and I liked it a lot. The other thing that impressed me is the ending. Whilst you do need to come first in all 3 cups to get the ending, it will be satisfying because the game actually does a great job of making you want to know who it is. This person hasn't even done anything wrong, and I have a vast hatred towards them, and I want them to fail miserably. If you're interested in who the mystery driver is, then here you go. I will reveal it after a 3-second countdown. There is an annotation for you to skip if you don't want to know who it is. 3, 2, 1. It's Plankton. He set it up because a year's supply of Krabby Patties were available and he wanted them. It's actually very clever. The game even shows you that in the opening cutscene. He has green arms. That should narrow it down a little, but you don't really notice it. Oh, one last thing. I had to replay each tournament at least once to win gold, and I was playing on easy mode. I learnt this when the game told me to complete the game on normal and hard difficulty to unlock bonuses. No! Fuck off, game! That is never happening! Nicktoons Racing! Ha! More like Shittoons Racing! So, does it deserve a 1 out of 10? No, I'd say 3 out of 10. But I wouldn't buy it. Hello everybody, I hope you enjoyed that review. I certainly enjoyed making it. I do have more planned. I'm planning on doing a top 10 levels list on the first 3 entries of a certain franchise. You know, I'm not going to give it away, but it's a PS1 game with an orange character. That's all you get. I think you can figure it out from there. But yeah, it should be fun. Hopefully that'll be 1 week after the other for each game, but we'll see. But yeah, this was not easy to do. Getting that time machine power is the hardest thing in the game. I'm not joking, I spent 12 minutes trying to get it. Just getting into last place and just hoping I get it. Nope. In the end, I had to, on lap 1, go behind the track, so into like -0, and then it gave it to me. And despite me being a whole like half lap behind, it put me in 3rd, so it's an OP power, but it just never gives it to you. So yeah, yeah. Also, this has been showing me in last getting basically useless powers. It's pathetic, it really is. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the review. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I'm hoping to do more at some point. So, you know, exciting times. See you next time. Bye-bye.